Bray. They are absolutely killing it. I mean, even from our last conversation, the man's shipping killer updates, just absolutely cooking. So thank you so much for being here. For those who aren't familiar with you, and you're phenomenal. Enlighten us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and more about why you built this.
So with Umbre, it's something that I designed because like trading is moving in the direction where AI is going to help people navigate that entire field, right? So it's going to become a fundamental component to any platform in the near future. And on top of that, it's just not a very user-friendly experience for DeFi and just all the other components in trading. It's just very difficult to navigate right now. So I wanted to do my best to create an experience because of myself. I need something that's more just digestible and user friendly and also intuitive. Like I like Ableton as a producer because it's very intuitive. And once you figure out how to pick everything up, it's just like plug and play, you know? So I noticed users need a trading platform in DeFi and Web3 that works in a similar way. I don't really feel like anything like engages that realm. So that's what we are doing with not just the back end side of things, because we're going to be deploying the first DLMM on Base, and then we're going to be targeting other blockchains in the future with DLMMs and other market making protocols that are efficient for these blockchains that aren't present on there right now. But a front end that makes it easy for people to navigate that entire experience as well. That also comes with tutorials and just quality gamification, because I'm a gamer myself. I play games like a lot. So my standard for game quality is pretty high. So like I'm gonna do my best to make this something reflective of what I would expect in like a good gaming like experience in DeFi. So yeah.
Right, for sure. And I think I've been kind of toying around with a lot of different DLM products, over the past like couple of years, and it's just so difficult to use. Like from your perspective, why is DLM so difficult? As a trader, I've been trading, for 8 years, but DLM is still very nuanced, and I still struggle with it. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because it's not explained to the users efficiently. If I give you a tutorial and a walkthrough experience that breaks it down for you in a way where you understand the exact purpose of a bin, like what the fuck is a bin? That's the first thing people see, and they're just like confused as fuck about. And the minute you have that level of confusion and you don't address it as a platform, you're creating a further gap. Now this is like you just have like basically you feel like a baby eagle fucking thrown into the off the nest, just forced to fly. Users don't want to feel like that. They want to feel like you carry them a little bit through the process. They don't want to feel not everybody is a flying eagle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
So
not at all. No eagles out here. I need
it's,
wings, bro. Don't clip my wings.
yeah, it's pretty intense. So I think the best thing to do is have a tutorial experience. Bins are something that I had to learn myself the hard way. I had to go out of my way to educate myself. Most people don't have time for that, honestly, especially people with the capital to invest into these type of things. They're very fucking busy. So the last thing they're going to go out of their way doing is learning how to figure out what the fuck bins are and all that shit. They're trying to get on it and play. So the more plug and play you make the experience for anyone, the better it's going to be. It's just how it is. People are intuitive creatures. The more you can make the experience intuitive and followable, regardless of what language you're dealing with as well, the better, you know? And I think one
Absolutely.
of
And I
my,
love how
yeah,
gamified too it is, because I think that's also like a quintessential part of the user experience beyond, the tutorials, but actually like, the way you guys have set it, everything up from a like truly like user centric perspective makes it so much easier, because like, man, I just struggle so hard with these DLM products. But why don't
hmm,
we go ahead and show us, the platform, and I know you're cooking some fire updates since our last conversation, so we'd love to see those.
yeah. Honestly, I'm, I've been working on this for a little while now, and this is definitely something I'm pretty excited to finalize. There's still a lot of work left to do, but yeah, this is going to be the platform, right? It's going to be the first multi-chain DeFi trading platform, and that has DLMMs and everything like that. Right now, DLMM is the priority, because I think it's the most efficient protocol.
And it's
And I also,
so flawed right now, DLLM, so many new,
yeah,
some new products coming out, only particularly on Solana. And it's very difficult still.
hmm
It's what's agonizing. Like I see somebody, putting in $10, making 15K, and I'm like, how is that freaking possible? So
Yeah.
there's massive opportunity for gains, in DLM,
Yeah.
and less
Exactly.
risk, right?
Well, there's a lot less risks, but there's still the black swan events, like some of the events you've seen recently. So unless you have big bags and you can hold and you can withstand liquidation and you're holding spot capital, like, which is good for DLMMs because you're holding the actual tokens for this anyway, right? If you're capable of holding your bags and trusting your bags, this is a very efficient way of dealing with the market. But for people who are like more focused on being in and out and they don't really have capital to leave in long term, I don't recommend to get DLMMs to be like the most like because there's some people that approach DLMMs with small capital and it's something good to play with, but I'd say at least $1,000 is what you want to play with DLMMs, and then you can do some good damage with it. And then it depends if you're talking about like meme coins and shit like that. That's a whole another conversation because it can be very volatile there. Like you said, you see probably like people put $15, $20 in, and they walk away with 15,000 shit and just throwing it into the right pool and getting out at the right time. It's just like what happened. So yeah, it could get pretty crazy depending on the moment, but that doesn't always happen. DLMMs for me, the most sustainable way of dealing with them is getting into pools like
For
Solana,
sure.
USDC, and things like that. And like I was telling you
Definitely.
before, I'm still working on the front end for the tutorial process. I want to make it more visually like stand out, which you'll see some of the other components, but you see it's here, right? And it'll walk you through the process to make sure that you understand exactly how things work and understanding a liquidity chart, all of that. And and it's going to walk you through all that whole process. No need to go through it all here because that kind of like kills the whole point of the user experience. But you get that going. I have to fix that, it seems. Boop boop, and then yeah, boom. So the tutorial, right, is always going to be something that I recommend people go through if you don't know what you're doing, hands down. Once you go through that, it's going to be something that you get experience for and everything. It's a part of an achievement just because you went through the tutorial. Things like that will happen. But let's go ahead and create a position and start working on that. I'm still redesigning some of these elements a little bit, just perfecting it. I am a perfectionist. I need every little animation to synchronize perfectly.
But it's beautiful, really beautiful, and I love how the bin setup is because bins are damn confusing, man. Such a pain.
Right?
But I love how they look as platform. They're glowing. It's very easy, very obvious, very intuitive.
Yes, exactly. The more intuitive I can make it for you, the better. Where you can see a legend right here explaining everything about it, what's within your range, the pool liquidity outside of your range, your liquidity preview. It's very small right now. You don't see much green because I'm not putting in that much capital compared to the capital in the market, right? So it does kind of make it relative to what's in the market. I could change that, but I think it is pretty a good idea to realize how much capital you're actually putting in visually too. And because a lot of people play with big capital with this too as well. All right, so if I go ahead and create position, boom, boom, boom. I say let's go tight because if I can get like an activity where it just jumps out of the range, that'd be cool. And let's say right there, boom. Right. All right, boom. There we go. All right, now you go back to positions, you click refresh button, boom, boom, get your position, right? Now we see my position is active, we're good. We already have a little bit of fees being earned because it was so tight. That's another thing about tight positions is that you earn fees very quickly with the LMMs. The tighter your position, the more fees you earn. The reason why that is because you have more capital in that range to earn fees from. If you have a wider set of bins, you're spreading out the capital more, so you're earning less fees but you're covering a wider range. The tighter the range, the more you have to manage it, but the more money you earn. So let's go to manage.
And I had another
Right.
quick question. Do you guys do double-sided, both-sided liquidity, or would you
You can do
suggest
double
that
sided.
somebody? Yeah, would you just suggest that somebody who's new to DLLM do provide both-sided or single-sided?
Double sided.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to jump in. You put it shows you in a tutorial. You have like maybe $20 in. The tutorial takes you through with like $60. You want to have like $20 on each side basically, and that way you have enough to cover, you know, the reserve fee for Solana and Meteora. They have like their own reserve fee for the position, and then that's how things work from there. And keep in mind, this is just with Meteor. We're building our own DLMM smart contract, which has been deployed on the test net, which you guys can see the contract on our previous post on X. We're still refining that, and that's part of what we're doing the race for, is to finalize the audit on that, because we want that shit perfect. We want it truly secure. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot more intuitive, I believe, for people. So when you're in this position, just letting you know you're in range. If you're out of range, this is going to go orange and let you know out of range. It's going to be very, very clear when you're dealing with something. People, and then also when you're trying to understand your range configurations. If I'm within my active my bins, this is showing you your lower and your higher. If I'm outside of that, boom, boom, boom. See, it's going to let me know. I can click refresh data, and I can always keep on top of that. It's very simple, right? Now, I want to make this as intuitive as possible, because again, people are going to want to probably switch from position to position for like power users who are really on top of their positions manually. Maybe they're not capable of like using the automation tools that we're not going to just be able to give to everyone. So, you know, they can still manage those positions very quickly manually. I want to make it so you can shift between all of your positions very fast, like going back and forth between them. Like, this is not something I want to make people do. I want to make it so maybe in the watch list, I can switch it to it has a different tab for positions. So it can show you all your positions in a list right here. Like I'm telling you, I've been thinking about this when we do launch this, it's going to be perfect.
Long time. Yeah, and I love how your platform's kind of like a co-pilot to an extent. Like, it really seems like, you know, you guys have the users, you know, their gain at heart, you know, whereas other platforms are quite extractionary, I would say.
But me, it's about the experience. At the end of the day, if you're winning, I'm winning. The more money you're making on my platform and building on my platform and wealth, the easier it is for you to continue earning capital, which in turn earns me capital. It doesn't make sense to see you lose. That's the reason why I understand the mindset that comes from a lot of these other companies that kind of work to and profit off of traders losing off their platform. And there's very few platforms out there, especially for traders like in, you know, Forex and stuff like that, that actually have, you know, the opposite incentive of seeing you lose. Instead, some of them, they win or lose regardless of what happens to you. And if anything, losing sometimes makes them more money. So those, you know, brokers and all these different platforms, they tend to just work off of a very corrupt mindset. We know how the world is, unfortunately. If you don't deal with people who have your best interest in mind, those people don't tend to last long in the long term anyway. You want to create an experience that really knows how to balance. Of course, I need to eat. The company needs to sustain itself, obviously, but you don't need to be greedy. It's really simple. And, you know, as long as you're making sure that you have enough to keep the company from moving and you're taking care of yourself and everybody's happy, the user's happy, and you're also providing an experience that's dope, because why just give the bare minimum? Everybody gives the bare minimum nowadays, and I personally am tired of that shit. Like, it's just, you know, there's not enough like quality experiences out there, and I feel like in order for you to have that, you have to set the standard yourself nowadays. So speaking about that, we have this new system we call SAGE, which is Strategic Alpha Generation Engine, right? Just our AI assistant system, right?
Sleep name, I like it.
I was trying to meditate on. I was like, I mean, I need something that fits the aesthetic of what we're doing.
It's fresh, boy.
Yeah. All right. And let's see. Can you show me? Let me know about my current positions. All right. So it's the same thing I have right here, but I just want to prove that you can pull it up anywhere. Right. Okay, it's my portfolio. I still have to redesign that.
That's crazy. I love the intent, though.
Yeah, I already did design the DLMM. It's like you have to do each one by one. They're each their own modular component. I keep everything. I work through a functional programming like mindset. So yeah, you have this with you at all times, right? You can always use this. So when we have our trading platform with the advanced trading, like, you know, like be able to just buy and sell get leverage over time, all that good stuff. We're going to have that over here. And this is going to be something that's with you at all times. You see how it doesn't disappear? What are some of the best pools right now with the highest value? 24, boop. Right. So it just gave me a bunch of pools, and I can look at that list right there on the spot. And if I want to deal with him right here on the spot within the chat, I don't even have to go back to the DLMM. I can just go right there and it'll bring it up for me. So for me, instead of it loading a new screen, what I want to make it do is bring it over to my DLMM tab, or probably just open up something here. So we're still building a ton of nice stuff out when it comes down to that. But the AI works perfectly. You can come over here and the dedicated tab for it, and we're going to be pimping this out with more features specifically for the AI. So that way, when you're in here, it's a little bit more dynamic, right? All the same functions and everything like that. You can refresh the chat because as you go through time, context builds up. Context creates more cost of credits, and then you can just go refresh it. So that way you're not dealing with a buildup. Account, right? Which was, profile before. We're going to make an account, and then we're still working this out. So that way you have the proficiency system as before being discussed. I still have to design all this out. And when it comes down to making sure each and every last component works, it's tied to the backend appropriately, all that good stuff, right? Proficiencies, the ability to go all the way up to S rank, which is the tier of trader you can be at in DeFi. And, each of these will let you know what you could be working on to get closer to that, teach you exactly how to do it, what you need to be doing, how to improve, all that, And again, for me, you win, I win, I want to see
love that
people
philosophy,
winning.
and that's why it's really just like a co-pilot, coach, an advocate on your behalf. Just it's like living together. So I love the mentality behind that.
Yeah, you're gonna have a few who, unfortunately, even though you give them all the tools, still fail. But you can't save everybody.
Can't always win. For sure. Crazy iterations just since last call. I think we chatted about last week.
Yeah.
Insane updates. So you're cracked as they come.
I'm gonna just keep cooking. My team's gonna keep cooking. We still have to do the dashboard page, which before you guys saw, we have
slight tweaks,
abilities, and you can set up every panel that we have in here later. And it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. This is a platform I want to be as immersive and intuitive as possible. I want it to also make trading fun, because trading is not, business is already as weird as it is, and gaming is something people get good at. And I can promise you, when you create an experience that, even though it's tied to actual capital, and make it more like a game, because it's a game, you have to win. People will work to win more. They will actually play. They will play the fucking game better. And when you make it work, it's just the brain just doesn't approach it with the same kind of problem solving, fucking neuroplasticity for some reason. Whereas gaming, we just approach it okay, I need to get this. Let me figure this out. Okay.
Right.
And
exactly.
It gets good.
I love it. Any other things you want to mention that are on the need map for the product?
Say it again.
I said, were there any other aspects on the near-term roadmap that you wanted to share?
Well, with the token that we're about to launch for you guys with Cyrene, that's going to be dope later today. I think
absolutely
that's going to be pretty cool.
And do you want to talk more, I guess, about the token utility?
Yeah, I wanted to probably point that out. 5% of the platform fees completely from all of our swap, total platform fees, right, are going toward the token holders, right? And there's going to be 5 million tokens in deployment with you guys. So with the 5 million tokens, that 5% of the platform fees gets divided amongst there, right? Up to 5%. And yeah, it's a really strong incentive to just hold the token, plain and simple. As long as you're holding the token during the distributions, the percentage for, the amount of tokens you hold will be sent to the designated, we'll be dealing with that a little bit later, but that's the plan on it. You know what I mean? Exactly how it's sent to the holders. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that it's secure as possible.
Amazing. Sure. We have our team I mean, there's obviously, a lock period, so you guys are in it,
Yep.
for keeps. And I mean, the product is absolutely rock solid. So I think from an investment perspective, holding the token is going to be highly beneficial.
Yes.
And of course, we'll wait and see. The token launches are always, there,
Yep.
but me is super bullish. I'm definitely going to buy some myself. Not financial advice,
Not
but
financial advice. Yeah, NFA.
I'm bullish. I'm buying. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've made my position known.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, there's I think just a consistent expansion, because this is a part of the Ignis ecosystem, right? So when it comes down to the future roadmap of things, right? Umbre is just one of many things in our ecosystem, right? Ignis is the primary company behind everything, and through Umbre, that gives us the resources and the ability to create so many other ideas that I have as an individual, and
Absolutely.
all of these different things
And you
create
ship
revenue.
quick. You ship quick. I know you ship quick.
Yeah, so I like to perfect things, and now like my focus is making sure that when I do ship more and more things in the future, as I come up with other ideas that I already have in development, I just want to make sure they get done right. That's really it. And that way when people jump on it, they're just like, this is fucking dope, like this is well
Crazy.
done. And I
Love
just
it.
need to, I feel like we need to set higher standards for the experience. That's really what it comes down to. Like, be just more excellent when it comes down to
What
what we
game
provide in
did
the
you
space.
mention? I know you mentioned a game that really was inspired you to create this. I forget what it was though. What was it?
Oh, not the game, but and different animes. So like,
The anime.
if,
Yeah.
if a game if a game would inspire just like Final Fantasies, like newer, like UIs and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
you have Evangelion, like Nerve, stuff like that
Right.
from their headquarters, their whole CRTs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Serial Experiments Lane, Akira, obviously, things,
Right.
Ghost in a Shell, all that classic fucking anime, retro, sci-fi, cyberpunk design work. I love that shit. So I
Yeah.
think
Same.
that's the kind of
Same.
vibe. Yeah, that's definitely the kind of vibe I'm trying to like combine and blend together with like a more like a modern slight touch to it, while still
Yeah.
being true to that vibe at the same time. So
Definitely.
yeah, I'm doing all the design work myself. Like
Oh,
I'm more of the front end guy on this right now, and I'm loving it. It's fun. It's allowing me to get creative, and AI is making it so much easier now that I have a nice pipeline for my work. And it's just like, yeah.
crazy. So yeah, I think we're about at time. But yeah,
Mhm.
anything else you want to share other than you know, uh,
No, that's about it. Just we take our security very seriously. That's another
yeah,
thing too. And people on our
absolutely.
team, when it comes down to our security devs and stuff like that, we do not play around. So that's part of why we take our time with it, because beyond just looking nice, it is secure. It actually has to be as nice as it looks. You can't just talk to talk, right?
Absolutely, got to walk
So
it.
yeah,
So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we're gonna pop off in a little bit of time
yeah,
here. So can't wait.
yeah.
Best of luck. And yeah, we'll chat soon.
Classics. I'll talk to you guys
All
soon.
right, I'm ready to the moon. Let's go.
Thanks.
Peace.